conjugacy relation. So আমরা যে শুরু করছি কি conjugacy relation. Let G be a group and x comma y belongs to G. Y is said to be conjugate to x. Y is said to be conjugate to x if there exists an element G in G such that y equal to gx G inverse. মানে ধরো জি একটা গ্রুপ আর জিতে দুটো এলিমেন্ট আছে এক্স ওয়াই, তাহলে ওয়াইকে বলবো এক্স এর কনজুগেট যদি জি এর আরেকটা এলিমেন্ট পাওয়া যায় স্মল জি সাচ দ্যাট ওয়াইকে আমরা এভাবে লিখতে পারবো জি এক্স জি ইনভার্স. If y can be expressed as y equal to gx g inverse, then y is said to be the conjugate of x. This is the meaning of conjugate. This is the meaning of an element is said to be conjugate to another element. Now, this theorem says that let a relation rho be defined on G by x rho y if and only if y is conjugate to x. Y is conjugate to x. Then rho is an equivalence relation. On G. Equivalence relation on G. Let a relation rho be defined on G by x rho y if and only if y is conjugate to x. আমি জিতে একটা রিলেশন ডিফাইন করছি কীভাবে, এইভাবে যে এক্স ওয়াইয়ের সঙ্গে রিলেটেড হবে তখনই যদি কিনা ওয়াই ইজ কনজুগেট টু এক্স. দ্যাট মিনস ইফ y can be expressed in this way, then only x is related to y, and then if in this way y is related to x, যদি এইভাবে ওয়াইটা এক্সের সঙ্গে এক্সটা ওয়াইয়ের সঙ্গে রিলেটেড থাকে যাতে করে ওয়াইটা এক্সের কনজুগেট হয়, তাহলে বলবো এই রিলেশনটাকে আমরা ইকুইভ্যালেন্স রিলেশন. দেন দ্যাট রিলেশন ইজ নোন অ্যাজ ইকুইভ্যালেন্স রিলেশন. Proof. Let x belongs to G, then since x can be expressed as ex e inverse, e being the identity element in G, e being the identity element in G, মানে কি এক্সকে তো আমরা এভাবে লিখতে পারবো ই এক্স ই ইনভার্স করে, যেখানে ইটা কি জি এর আইডেন্টিটি এলিমেন্ট. ইফ যদি আমরা ই এক্সকে আমরা এভাবে লিখতে পারি তাহলে কী বলতে পারি, তাহলে আমরা বলতে পারি না যে এক্সটা এক্সেরই কনজুগেট, তাহলে আমরা লিখতে পারি না দেন এক্স রো এক্স হোল্ডস অ্যান্ড দেয়ার ফোর রো ইজ রিফ্লেক্সিভ, বলতেই পারি লেট এক্স রো ওয়াই হোল্ডস, দেন ওয়াই ইকুয়াল টু gx G inverse, G belongs to capital G. Now y equal to gx G inverse implies G inverse compose y equal to G inverse compose gx G inverse. So it is G inverse compose y, G inverse compose G's identity, x G inverse. So G inverse compose y compose G equal to x G inverse compose G. G y equal to gx G inverse implies G inverse compose y equal to G inverse composition of G x G inverse. So G inverse G is identity, so G inverse compose y equal to x G inverse. Now I apply G here, so it will be x G inverse compose G. What is x G inverse compose G? This will be G inverse compose y is equal to compose G. G inverse compose y compose G. This G inverse compose G is identity. So now x can be written as G inverse compose y compose G. So x can be written as G inverse compose y compose G. So we can write x as G inverse compose y compose G. So ultimately you have x equal to G inverse compose y compose G. So it can be written as G inverse compose y compose G inverse its inverse. So this is the value of x, G inverse compose y compose G inverse its inverse, and that means if x rho y holds, now we can say that x is conjugate to y. X is conjugate, not y is conjugate to x. Now x is conjugate to y. X is conjugate to y means y rho x holds. So x row y implies y row x. This implies row is symmetric. This implies row is symmetric. Let x row y holds. This implies y equal to g x g inverse g belongs to capital G. G belongs to capital G. Let x row y holds and y row z holds. Y row z holds. Therefore, z equal to g1 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 g2 y g2 inverse g2 belongs to G. This implies z equal to g2 y is g1x g1 inverse g2 inverse g2 belongs g1 g2 belongs to G. G1 G2 belongs to G. So this implies Z is G2 G1 G2 G1 X G1 inverse G2 inverse, and that implies Z is G2 G1 X G1 inverse G2 inverse can be written as G2 G1 whole inverse. So since G1 comma G2 belongs to G, this implies G2 G1 their composition also belongs to G, and let G3 is equal to G2 G1. So therefore Z converted to G3x G3 inverse. This implies x Z is conjugate to x, Z is conjugate to x, Z is conjugate to x, and that means nothing. X row Z holds. X row Z holds means row is transitive. Row is transitive. Row is transitive. Hence, row is an equivalence relation. Hence, row is an equivalence relation. Hence, row is an equivalence relation on G. Is an equivalence relation on G. Hence, row is an equivalence relation on G. Definition, not a definition. This relation rho is said to be the conjugacy relation on G. Said to be the conjugacy relation on G. This is called the conjugacy relation on G. The set G, since it is an equivalence relation, by fundamental theorem of algebra, by fundamental theorem of modern algebra, we can say the set G is partitioned into row equivalence classes by this conjugacy relation. আমরা জানি যে একটা যদি ইকুইভ্যালেন্স রিলেশন হয়, একটা রিলেশন যদি ইকুইভ্যালেন্স রিলেশন হয়, সেটা সেটটাকে বিভিন্ন কনজুগেসি ক্লাসে পার্টিশন করে দেয়। তাহলে এইখানে ইকুইভ্যালেন্স রিলেশনটা যদি রো হয়, তাহলে এই ইকুইভ্যালেন্স রিলেশনটা ওই সেটটাকে ডিফারেন্ট রো ইকুইভ্যালেন্স ক্লাসে কিন্তু পার্টিশন করে দিবে। দ্য সেট জি ইজ পার্টিশনড into row equivalence classes which are called the conjugacy classes. এই ক্লাসগুলোকে বলা হয় conjugacy classes. কি বলে conjugacy classes? The class of A, the conjugacy class of A is denoted by CLA. Since it is an equivalence relation, it creates a partition on the set G into different row equivalence classes, and each row equivalence classes of A is denoted as class of A. Therefore, conjugacy class of A means GA G inverse such that G belongs to G. That means in this conjugacy class, set up all conjugates with A will belongs where G belongs to capital G. This is the meaning of conjugacy classes. There is another theorem stating that let G be a group and ZG be the center of G. If A belongs to ZG, then CL equal to singleton A, and conversely let G be a group and ZG be the center of G. If A belongs to ZG, then class of A equal to A, and conversely. Proof: let A belongs to ZG So the theorem states that let G be a group and ZG be the center of G. If A belongs to ZG, then class of A equal to singleton A, and conversely. If A is a member of the center, then class of A equal to singleton A, and conversely. Let A belongs to ZG, then A compose G equal to G compose A for all G belongs to capital G. A compose G equal to G compose A for all G belongs to capital G. Let A belongs to ZG, then A compose G equal to G compose A for all A belongs to G. Therefore, A compose G equal to G compose A. Now apply G inverse on the right hand side. G compose A compose G inverse. This will become identity. So A will become G compose A compose G inverse. If A equal to G compose A compose G inverse, this implies A belongs to CLA. A belongs to CLA. If A equal to G compose A compose G inverse means what? A compose G compose A inverse means class of A consists of only singleton A. Class of A consists of only singleton A. There is no other element because every element is a self-conjugate. Conversely, let class of A equal to singleton A. This implies GA G inverse equal to A. For all G belongs to G. So GA equal to AG. For all G belongs to G. And if that this holds, then A belongs to the center. A belongs to the center. Therefore, the elements of ZG are called self-conjugate elements. The elements of ZG are called self-conjugate elements. Elements of ZG are called self-conjugate elements. Next theorem, in a finite group G, in a finite group G, for each A belongs to G, the number of different conjugates of A in G, number of different conjugates of A in G equals the number of distinct left cosets of CA in G. CA means what? CA means centralizer. CA means centralizer in G. That means in a finite group G, the number of different conjugates of A in G is equals the number of distinct sub-coset left cosets of CA in G. That is, CLA means what? Different conjugates of A in G is equal to number of distinct left cosets means this one. Index of G is to CA. Index of G is to CA. Index of G is to N. Mod this means number of elements in CLA. Mod this means number of elements in CLA. Cha. Ma? Proof. The two conjugates of A determined by G and H in G are GA G inverse and HA H inverse respectively. Then GA G inverse equal to HA H inverse implies by H inverse G of A is equal to A of H inverse G. This implies H inverse G belongs to C of A. H inverse G belongs to C of A, centralizer of A. This implies G comma H are in same left coset of CA in G. Let this is the two conjugates of A determined by this and this, so they are must be equal. So this equality implies this. Therefore, two conjugates GA G inverse and HA H inverse of A are number one same if they are same, two conjugates are same if G and H belongs to same left cosets of H in G. If G and H belongs to same left cosets of CA in G. Number two is different if G and H belong to the different left cosets of CA and G. If equal, then belongs to same left cosets. If different, belongs to different left cosets. Therefore what? Therefore their number must be same. Hence modulus of CLA, their number must be same. If equal, then belongs to the same left cosets. If unequal, belongs to the different left cosets. That means their numbers are same in general. So this much for today. In next class, I'll start class equation. Thank you all.